Well, everything is going the world of digital these
Yes, it
days,
is.
including your license, your driver's license. It is available now not only through Apple, but through Google in the state of Maryland, the first state in the nation
Breaking ground.
to offer digital licenses on both platforms. So let's talk about how this works and how it could benefit you. Christine Nizer joins us now with the MVA. Great to have you
Good
on.
morning.
Appreciate you coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
All right, so Google is the big difference here. This is huge because despite what Apple believes, a lot of people have Android phones and they have Google products. So how is this going to work, and when can someone get a digital ID, get their ID digitally through Google Wallet?
So they can actually do that right now. It was an important announcement because, as you said, we announced Apple about a year ago, immediately heard from all the Android users, and that was important to us to make sure we are available on both platforms. So you could go today and download your mobile driver's license on either your Apple Wallet or on your Google Wallet.
We're joined by the administrator of the Motor Vehicle Administration of the Department of Transportation, Christine Nizer. Great to speak with you again, Administrator. So what are the things you need to have in place to do this? What do you need to have?
So if you're going to download your digital driver's license, you need to have your physical license in front of you because you need to do a verification process. Obviously, we need to make sure you are who you're presenting yourself to be. And so you need to have that physical license. You're going to take a photo of yourself. You're going to do some movements. So we make sure it's not a photo representation. It's an actual person there. We'll review that information and you'll get a response back that either says you've been approved or we need to do a little bit more verification.
Okay, so I have this. I'm not asking for a friend. I'm asking for myself, and it could be a Brian error. It could be me. I will say that. But I signed up for this when it first came out in Apple because I love the idea of being able to just have my wallet or have my license in my phone and not have to carry a wallet around. And I got, it says right now I'm looking at it, it says verification in progress. You will receive a notification from Wallet when there is an update from Maryland MVA. I've had that message for several months now. So what is going on there? Does that mean that I have to follow that up? I mean, because I actually did talk to a friend of mine who said that they had that same thing, that they haven't heard back yet.
Yeah, there's some folks who have that verification process, which might mean that when you took the photo, the lighting wasn't exactly right, and so we couldn't verify the photo with what we have on record. It could be a variety of things. We've got kind of a frequently asked questions on our website. But yes, you would need to follow up at that point. Try it again is what we say, right? Just go back in and start the process again and see if it works again. Again, thinking about lighting, thinking about when you're making your movements during the enrollment process, because it will come back and tell you the steps you need to take.
Okay.
MVA Administrator Nizer, when it comes to the digital license ID, what are the benefits? Like what do you tell people why they should try to do this?
So everyone's so concerned about protecting their identity, the personal information, but yet we hand over our driver's license, our ID card, multiple times. And does the person you're handing it to really need all that information, especially if you think about age verification, alcohol or tobacco purchase? Mm-hmm. And also what's being done if they make a copy of it? Is it being safely secured? Who has access to it? The great thing with the mobile driver's license, they only get verification they need. So age verification, they only know you're over age 21. They don't even know your date of birth. So it really allows you as the holder to protect your personal information.
All right. For me, I mean, one of the reasons why I want to do it and why I like it is because I won't have to have it in my wallet, and maybe I don't need to carry my wallet around. If I get pulled over by a police officer, not that I would ever do anything to get pulled over by a police officer, but if I did, would that be good enough to show the police officer on my phone the ID?
It's a great question. So right now we're telling everybody you still have to carry that physical license. We're not quite there yet. But you can use it at TSA checkpoints. So if you're flying out of BWI or Reagan National, many other airports throughout the country, you probably have your boarding pass in your wallet. You can also now have your ID there. You don't have to pull out that physical license. So that's the first step of the implementation. But we are talking to law enforcement. We are talking to many of our other partners about how we can continue to push this out at additional settings.
So, Administrator Nizer, some folks are going to be concerned. How is what I have and what I'm sharing with the MVA, and how's that being kept safe? What are the standards that you have to protect this data?
Really important question. So there are international standards that have actually been put out our product is fully compliant with all those standards. The data is encrypted. Nobody knows, whether it's Apple, whether it's Google, whether it's the MBA, where you're using that mobile driver's license. Every time you use it, you have to consent to your data being shared.
Okay.
And again, much more secure than that physical license where you're handing all your information over to somebody you know. It was interesting to me with TSA. You would think they need everything on that license or ID. They actually only need 5 data points. So even in that instance, we're giving a lot more information than's really needed.
Yeah. When do you think it would be where police would accept it and that would be standard procedure where you could just have your license on your phone?
So those are active conversations that we're having. Obviously, for us, interoperability is really important. We want you to be able to use it whether you're in Maryland, whether you're in another state. And so it's a conversation not only in Maryland, but frankly, nationally about how that'll work. I don't know a specific date that we'll be able to do that, but we'll keep everybody updated about additional locations that they can use their MDL.
Now, MVA Administrator Chrissy Nizer, when it comes to us being the first state in the nation to do this, what are you hearing about other states? Like how are other states ramping up?
Well, with Apple, we were the second state to implement, and there have been 3 or 4 other states who have now come along as well. Other states are moving in that direction, too. The reason we just think it's important and we want to be on the front end, I want to emphasize this is just an option for customers, not something you have to do. So if you are concerned, certainly, that's fine. But for those who are interested, we want them to have that ability, and there is no cost to individuals. So that's the other important point.
How popular has it been so far? How many people have signed up for it? For Apple, obviously, Google's one day in.
Sure. So in terms of active users, over 150,000 just on the current product we had out there. So excited really to see what happens now. We have both platforms, and it's getting a little bit more attention.
Great.
So finally, MVA Administrator Chrissy Nizer is on board with us talking about the state offering the digital license and IDs. They can go to MVA website if you just want to find out more information.
That's right. We've actually got a video that you can watch in terms of the enrollment process. We've got some frequently asked questions, some good things like Brian brought up in terms of the enrollment process, what to do, what steps to take, and just encourage everybody to check it out. We all want to protect our identity and our personal information. This is a great way to do it.
This is fascinating to me. It
really
is.
One last question, because we've got a good one from a texter. What about like liquor stores or lottery or anything like that where you have to be over a certain age?
Those are use cases we're currently in conversations with those kind of entities. They have to have a reader to be able to read the MDL, and so we're working with them on what that would look like. But that's a great example of why it's so important. You're turning your whole license over with all your personal information when all they need to know you're over age 21 or 18. And so we are working on that actively and certainly make announcements as more is available.
Okay. Motor Vehicle Administration Administrator Chrissy Nizer. Great to have you on board. She was with the Hogan administration, stayed on board with the Moore administration. Thank you so much.
Good to have you on.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. It's just fascinating.
Yeah.
It really is. I'm not sure if I'm ready yet to do it.
Well, you know me. I'm ready to put a chip in my eyeball to get everything. I hate carrying things around. And I used to never be like that. That is a big change, a 180 for me than it was 15 years ago.
Yes.
But I just find the ease and convenience of having everything on your phone so you don't have to carry a wallet. You don't just have everything. I wish my key for my car could be in my phone, so I would have nothing in my pocket. I would just have my phone and to have the license there. It just stinks that they won't take it if you are pulled over.
Right.
Seems like they should be able to do that pretty
We're
easily.
We're moving pretty fast, all this stuff, though.
Yeah. So it's available today if you want to check it out on Google, and obviously has been on Apple for quite some time. Coming up next, we will look into the UFO phenomenon.
Speaking of which, getting into your out-of-body experience type of situations.
NASA had a hearing yesterday. Did we learn anything new, or did they promise something else that is coming down very soon? Next.